Emergency responders battle inferno in Federal Capital Territory. Achieving food security, federal government targets adoption of technological methods. And federal government connects Enugu community to solar hybrid mini grid. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on Nta News24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Let's start by telling you that emergency responders are tackling a fire outbreak at a private telecommunications outfit on Ghana Street, Maitama, Abuja, and an adjoining building housing a local eatery raised in the inferno. We will bring you further updates with the latest as soon as we establish contact with our crew. The federal government, through the Industry Research Institute, is working to adopt a technology-based approach to support farmers in achieving food security and support the growth of the economy. This was the message of the Director General of the Institute, Jume Adamu Tutua, during the two-day techno-entrepreneurship training on fish smoking technology for the Northwest region held in Kano.
The program targeting youth is part of the federal government initiatives aimed at creating jobs, fight poverty, and support the growth of the local economy. Idris Usman and Amina Ibrahim are among the lucky beneficiaries of the program who applauded the visionary agenda of the federal government aimed at supporting youth.
This training came at the right time, because at a time when we are battling with youth restiveness, I can say it is very timely, because this is a technology that is indigenous and a lot of our youth are unaware of it.
I am a civil servant on the verge of retirement, so this couldn't have come at a better time for us. I've been involved previously in some few years back in fish farming, that is backyard fish farming. I wish to expand.
The Director General of the Institute represented says supporting small-scale businesses is top on the agenda of the President Tinubu's administration, hence the training of youth on trades and skills that will make them become self-reliant.
This process will be able to stimulate local economy. And when local economy is stimulated, production activity will be going on. And once you have production activity, some of the products that we used to import before will start not to export them again. We're producing them locally. And once we're producing them locally, you save for forest. And
we are now bringing an intervention to the local law available raw material to be preserved, and it's a form of, at the same time, it's a form of what they call food security agenda. So we are making a lot of contribution in terms of food security agenda, employment generation, and then GDP creation.
50 persons are expected to benefit from the training in Kano.
Beneficiaries of the federal government's life-changing intervention in Itai Okene local government area of Kogi State are optimistic. The stabilization of degraded landscapes and channelization of water for dry season farming, genuine efforts of the federal government's Cressel project will eradicate poverty and boost food sufficiency. This was during the Cressel implementation assessment mission to the area. Charles Alpha reports.
Nigerian government initiative, World Bank supported, about community focused and people-oriented, describe the kind of intervention being carried out here by Cressel in Okene, Kogi State. Some of these women groups are beneficiaries of the community revolving funds who have used such funds to empower themselves with this cassava value chain and processing center.
Who are seen here today is a benefit to us, not just with the member, but the entire community, because in the past, they don't know that you can process maize into Semo locally.
You have shown what we treat as ownership of investment. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't support you to take this forward.
Issa Yakubu used to be a seasonal farmer, but now he is an all-year-rounder. Together, he and members of his cluster are taking advantage of the channelization of water and a kind of farming method, AgriSol, the agroclimatic resilience in semi-arid landscapes the World Bank and state governments have introduced to combat hunger and malnutrition.
I'm not telling lies. Follow me to my farm and see what they are up to.
Initially, when the rain falls, you have a crisis. Now, there's nothing like that.
The excitement written on the faces of the beneficiaries actually gives us satisfaction that this project is on course.
Okene, being one of the catchment areas, is suffering from gully erosion that has not only destroyed buildings but claimed lives. Charles Alpha, Nta News.
For Nome community in Kano East, the local government area of Enugu State now has 24-hour power supply with the inauguration of a 100 kWp solar hybrid mini-grid federal government project. This is in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu centered on inclusive development. Comfort Ayim reports that the inauguration ceremony performed by Governor Peter Mba alongside a team from the Rural Electrification Agency.
State is one of the fastest growing states in Nigeria with an increase in the growth of businesses. As the state advances its electrification pathway in line with the 2023 Electricity Act, the Rural Electrification Agency, REA, has recorded its impact in the state. And for the people, this sustainable energy project is not just about electricity, but also empowerment and progress for a community noted for farming, which has been hindered by lack of reliable power supply and poor road network.
We have seen the light. The one they give us is free. But now they have brought prepared meter, which means the amount we paid. When your money finishes, your light will go off.
A remote village in Kano East that has not had light for the last 9 years. This new power supply has brought a lot of relief and happiness to millions of thousands and millions of our people. We are so grateful to the government.
Representative of the Managing Director, REA, says the REF has aided the deployment of over 50 solar mini-grid nationwide with the aim of promoting safe and sustainable energy solutions to mitigate the effects of climate change.
The commissioning today comes at a time when there is a strong call for action on promoting safe and sustainable energy solutions to mitigate the effort of climate change and reduce greenhouse emissions.
Performing the inauguration, Governor Peter Mba represented stated that the project provides the state the capacity to create SMEs and enhance the living standard of the people.
Our heartfelt gratitude to the Rural Electrification Agency for their unwavering commitment to bridging the energy gap in Nigeria, particularly on served and underserved communities.
The power projects under the Rural Electrification Fund 2 comprises 256 solar panels, 2 inverters, 26 battery bank and internet device to ensure optimal performance. In Enugu, Comfort Ayim, Nta News.
Now, empowering women is not just a matter of social justice, but also a catalyst for national development. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu emphasized this at a APC Women National Summit and Dialogue in Abuja. Yenre John reports.
Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CEO.
Gathered here are members of the women wing of the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress. Their convergence at this national summit in Abuja is to discuss identified challenges and opportunities for enhancing the profile of the APC in Nigeria, with the theme Empowering Women for Leadership and Nation Building. The First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu led the charge in reminding women in the country to key into the renewed hope agenda to improve their economic fortunes.
The renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR places strong emphasis on creating opportunities for women to thrive economically, socially, and politically. In this administration, we have witnessed increased representation of women in key positions within our party and government.
One of the greatest responsibilities we have as women leaders is to empower the next generation of female leaders. Let us envision a world where every girl knows that she can be a leader.
Women are the foundations of the nation. Therefore, they are the foundation of the house. Without a strong foundation, the country would not be built strongly.
We, the women, the First Lady of the Nation advised us and told us what we should do. I think now she has kind of gingered us up to go out and take our rightful positions.
The program has been very impactful and it has been very insightful.
Other stakeholders at the event emphasized the importance of women participation in political decision-making. In Abuja, Ian Ray John, Nta News.
The local government elections in Nasarawa State witnessed a low turnout of voters. Aliu Tijani reports that Governor Abdullahi Sule, however, after casting his votes, commended the peaceful conduct of the exercise.
The local government election in Nasarawa State is to elect chairmen across the 13 councils and 147 council wards. The All Progressives Congress APC and 10 other political parties participated in the exercise, while the major opposition party, People's Democratic Party PDP, boycotted the exercise. Reports from across the state show that the exercise witnessed low turnout of voters as people go about their businesses. Unusual of an election atmosphere. Governor Abdullahi Sule cast his ballot in his electoral ward of Kudi, describing the election as peaceful across the state.
From what you can see, I have just voted at my own polling unit along with my family. I can see the process is going very smooth. There is no rancor, there is no misunderstanding, and I understand about 11 political parties are participating.
Commissioner of Police and Chairman of the State Independent Electoral Commission monitored the elections in some local government areas as the police assured of adequate security during and after the polls.
We have not recorded any case so far. We have gone round. I'm just coming from Lafia, the state capital, and then up to this place, no incident is recorded. We were open, we allowed everybody to see through the process, and we are optimistic that at the end of the day, the election is going to be very credible, fair, and acceptable to the people of Nasarawa State.
The elected officials will have a 3-year tenure. Aliu Tijani, Nta News.
Let's take a short break. More reports in a moment. Stay with us.
The dreams that our founding fathers envisaged are still work in progress. Every day, we put our hands on the plow, determined to do a better job of it. While it is tempting to focus on what has been left undone and where we have stumbled as a nation, we must never lose sight of how far we have come in forging and holding our country together.
Welcome back. The Nigeria Hunters and Forestry Security Service, NHFSS, will continue to play a critical role in addressing insecurity in Nigeria, particularly in ungoverned spaces, through collaboration with sister security agencies, intelligence gathering and sharing. Commander General NHFSS Joshua Oshatime reaffirmed this while decorating John Michie as Deputy Commander General Intelligence. FSS significantly contributes to combing ungoverned spaces and enhance the overall security landscape in Nigeria. Continued investment in their capacity operations will be vital in sustaining these efforts.
Security within the country. Hunter is naturally known to understand the terrain of the forest. So if we are being empowered today by signing our bill that have been concurrently passed by 2 houses of National Assembly, I believe it will burden our officer, giving us confidence that we can take battle to this criminals element within the forest and dislodge them.
For the golden fish, to whom much is given, much is expected.
A very big honor, because this department is the heartbeat of the organization. You guys should agree that our main primary objective as Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service is to provide intelligence to our parental bodies. We are the ones that are in the front runner. We're in the forest, we gather the intel, the information on what is going on, and then we pass it to them. And I promise the organization and Nigeria that they are going to see a big transformation starting from today.
The NHFSS was established to enhance forest and wildlife conservation while simultaneously addressing issues of insecurity linked to illegal logging, poaching, and land encroachment. Now, to promote the interest of writers and protect their rights, the Association of Nigerian Authors reaffirmed the need for government's participation in creating an enabling environment for writers to thrive. This call was made by the participants at this year's 43rd anniversary celebration and 2024 annual convention of the association held in Abuja. Garbat Natala reports.
For more than 40 years, the Association of Nigerian Authors has been in the forefront of promoting Nigerian literature and developing indigenous talents, skills, and intellectual capabilities. It was founded by the late Professor Chinua Achebe during a conference at the University of Nigeria in Nsukka. However, in the past 2 decades, the culture of writing has diminished. Many students no longer exhibit the same commitment to creative writing.
Gets in the water, molding the blocks, yes, molding.
But Sadiq Mukhtar, a student, a young mind and talented writer, finds more creativity in ink than in speech.
I find interest in writing, and by this I think I write 5 poems, and I'm working on my book.
To cap it, all students and authors participating in the convention celebrate literature and advocate for the development of the book industry. This year's annual convention of the association brings together the academia, Nigerian authors and dignitaries to share their aspirations. With the theme, A Nigerian Writer in a Creative Economy emphasizes the vital role writers must play in changing the narratives of the book industry.
Generally, in the African world of that time, there were folk tales, legends, myths, traditional marriage songs.
It's not as if the reading culture has died out completely, but there are a lot of distractions. But we can work together, join hands together, and even employ some of both the human and material resources that Anna has.
The children are more on the internet. They read and conditions their reading habits so that you don't want to read anything long, anything short things.
Literature will need to reawaken them and reawaken their consciousness.
In the meantime, the Literary Association has commissioned residency for its members to enhance their livelihoods during these challenging times. In Abuja, Garab Muhammad Natala, Nta News.
The 7 ministers who earlier in the week were screened and confirmed by the Senate have appreciated the Special Advisor to the President on National Assembly matters, Senator Bashir Ladu, for guiding them through the process. The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu, who spoke on behalf of the ministers, appreciated the presidential aid for the ease of the screening exercise. The 6 other ministers who were with Ojukwu in the office of the senator were Dr. Nta News24, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Mahamadou Migari Dingyadi, Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Jumoke Oduole, Minister of Industry, Trade and Development, Idi Mukhtar Meha, Minister of Livestock Developments, Yusuf Abdullahi Atta, Housing and Urban Development, and Dr. Suwaiba Saeed Ahmed, Minister of State for Education.
And of course, I congratulate all my colleagues here, but on behalf of all of us, to just say a very, very big thank you. We really appreciate your efforts. We appreciate your consideration. We appreciate your sacrifice.
The National Prayer Forum has urged Nigerians to come together in prayer to address the country's socio-economic and security challenges. Director General of the Forum, Segun Balogun Afolorunka, at a media briefing in Abuja, emphasized that it is a responsibility of all citizens to continue to pray for the nation's leaders at all levels in the collective desire to solve the nation's challenges, from rising costs of living to insecurity. Now, a reminder has gone to Christian leaders to uphold biblical standards in the course of preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. The vision bearer, Bible Pattern Gospel Ministers Outreach, Pastor Samuel Sadiki, who gave the advice during a 3-day Bible National Conference in Abuja, implored the clergy to avoid teachings that will mislead their followers.
Purpose of the gospel, why the church itself was born on earth, is for soul winning. And so any power one is praying for is to boost spiritual energy for gospel ministration.
That there will be life after death, Pastor Sadiku stressed the need for Christians to be committed to service of God and humanity.
I have to say further is very, very simple. The simple thing I have to say is that the counsel to the general public is that nobody should go for fetish power in doing the work of God, because God's power is sufficient and it's the only original power that will never fade.
Essence of what we are doing is to reposition the church, to redirect the church attention to Jesus. If we follow the Bible pattern, way of life, things will become better.
The scripture is very, very plain. God in his word is very, very plain. He said, look for the old path, walk in it, because that is where you will find rest to your soul. Anything short of that, you will meet a crisis, you will meet disaster.
The 3-day conference with the theme, They Saw No One But Only Jesus, is being attended by ministers of the gospel. After what had been 3 days of engagement on how women can thrive in the business space through advancements in technology, it was time for the 2024 Young African Women Congress to let their hair down and unwind. And so a dinner and award night was organized as the final crescendo to celebrate women and their thriving businesses. Alika Okwanachi Arwa tells us more.
Adorned in various apparels that oozed glamour and excellence, the night was full of laughter and celebration as some of the women bagged awards for their resilience and contributions to the economic development of the African continent. After 3 days of deliberations, networking, and sharing of ideas, the ladies are optimistic that going forward, their businesses will experience a boost with the new technological knowledge acquired from the conference.
I have learned a lot, meeting a lot of people, networking. We have had a lot of great speakers that I've learned. I got a lot that I'm taking back home.
One joy I have is that this program is a sensitization program for all women, and it's for the globe.
Recounting some of the highlights of the Congress, many shared their experiences and what they will be taking back home to their country.
Going to carry back the message of resilience, I carry back the message of confidence, I carry back the message of nothing can be done to you, a woman, without you wanting that it should be done.
I run an orphanage home in the River State, Port Harcourt. I'm going back to empower them, to make them to be strong in whatever they are doing, and not for anybody or anything to look down on them.
It's not easy, it's difficult, faced with the challenges of the conflict, but don't give up, just do your best, be resilient, and empower yourself the more.
The highlights of the evening featured awards presentation to deserving women.
Happy to be here, and I can't say more than this than to say thank you.
The theme centers on enhancing women's economic empowerment through innovation and technology. In Abuja, Alika Opanachi, Arua, Nta News.
That concludes the news desk at 6 on Nta News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adegunloye.